material laid out for the skirt. And from what I understand at the very beginning, I've already done some measurements so that this would take a little bit less time. And I've got all these little threads everywhere. But basically when you're doing pleats, you measure around the waist, whatever your width is or whatever, and you double it because the pleats will take extra material, and then you go and get your material. I got my material before I measured that, but luckily I asked for like 1.5 yards. I ended up getting 57 inches instead of 54, and I needed 57 inches for this project. So that will be just right then, so I don't have to worry about trimming down the edges at all. But I do need, see, I just measured that. But I do need to mark off the length of how long I want the skirt to be. And I've already measured that. Let me just see how long. And I already know it's more than enough length. With all the hem seams and everything, I need about, for me personally, I need 26 inches. So I'm going to just go ahead and mark that really quick. I'm going to see if I can get something else to mark it. If I use pencil, it won't come up very well, and I won't be able to tell where it is. But if I use like a black Sharpie, I don't know. Let me just see how the pencil comes up on this. Well, it's there, but it's not. I'll try it with the pencil first, because pencil will wash out. Well, kind of. The nice thing about having pleated material like this as well is that if you've got it directly on following a line of a pleat, then it's pretty easy to tell where you need to cut. No matter if the fabric moves on you or anything. Yeah, it's not sure. But let me get scissors, because I know where I need to cut it. Here. length. Alright, so with pleats, I'll get the ironing board later, once I can get the stand for it again. Been having problems with it. I need it on the other side. Yeah, so the difference, because right now it's doubled up, which is great and not so great. See? Goodness, I forgot. Got all this stuff everywhere. And some of the hairs from the wig has been getting on my floor and all over my stuff. So I'll have to clean all of those off before I do too much in here. I thought I got them all cleaned up. Anyway, I give up. This much material is just getting out of hand. I just don't have a lot of space to do this with. This is the only space I have that I can stay behind and keep little people out, because this is sewing stuff. There's knives, there's pins, there's needles. It's not a good idea to have little people coming in and out while you're working on this. Well, at least for me, especially if you see how I have everything everywhere. I don't want to have to keep track of making sure there isn't anything where they can get to it. Yeah, I got little siblings that are too adventurous for their own good. So, alright, I'm not going to bother about that much more. So, with pleats, I'm going to do more of the length of the boxes. So with the first pleat, let me just make sure you guys can see this edge here. Yeah, all right. Just get some of this out of here. Which this is nice about plaid, is that the line's already there again. So with the first one that I'm doing, I'm going to take right here, and it's going to come up to this line right here. And then this one is also going to do that, but it's going to come up to this one right here. And the reason why I'm not going any farther than this threesome line is so you can still see the threesome, but also see this is a side plaiting, which is what Maka does wear on hers. And if I wanted to, I could take it up to here, like right in there. Actually, I think I'll do that. When you're doing plaid material, it's up to your appeal of where you want the plaids to go. And let me just take a look at Maka's costume real quick, because I'm trying to decide if I want more red or more black in there. Let me find this out real quick, sorry. Let's see. On hers, it has more red. So So because of that, I want to actually change that. Since I'm going to grab that part later, I'm not going to bother about it. And let me get my pins for this. Right now, it's just more of an experimenting. You guys are seeing kind of my thought process of what I'm thinking about all of this. If that's the case, I think I want to grab back here more. Let's give a little bit more of the black in there, because she does have some. Okay. So we're going to stop right there. Alright, and then this one. Right here, let me take a look at this. So I folded at the square. And fold it over from there. Oh, that got too thick there. Yeah, so that's about right there. So I'm going to start pinning this. So I want the pleats to stay put while I work on them. So pin right here, and pin all the way up here. Just make sure it's about even with the other one. And because my pleats are so long, I'm going to put one in the middle as well for a pin. And that'll be for much later when I get to the ironing of it. Yeah. The poor animators. I've kind of been using the anime for judgment on like colors and everything. And I feel sorry because doing plaid material is actually really hard to draw and animate. And she actually has an uneven plaid length for like where the pleats are on that. So I'm gonna, on this one, for mine it's gonna cover the 3 on this one, and then the next one it's not. So that's kind of what I could somewhat tell on hers. Alright. Hope I don't fall over. Alright, now we grab around this one again. Now they've kind of started covering up the threesome lines. That actually fits more along with what she has. So I'm actually going to just keep covering those threesome lines here. then we'll see what happens when it's all up. For me personally, it's much easier to do this on a floor than on a table, and it's much easier to do it on a hardwood floor than on carpet, because I'll accidentally stab into the carpet grains, or whatever you want to call those. I don't know what the real name are. And there's one time I actually did it so hard on some that I couldn't, that I got it stuck to the carpet. So I don't want to do that. So I choose a hardwood floor when I can. Alright. So I just realized I forgot. But now that I know about the pleats, I'm gonna have to undo all this, because when you're doing pleats, you want to actually have the hem done first of the skirt before you actually get too far into the pleating, because it's much harder later on to try to hem the pleats than it is to hem it when it's just straight and flat. So I'm gonna do that right now. Take all of this out. It's not that hard to actually do this, and it's a whole lot cheaper if you're on a budget to self-pleat. And there are video stuff on YouTube, or so I'm told, that you can find about all of this stuff. So let's just get this undone real quick. And instead of pinning in pleats, we're going to pin up the hem. Take this apart, pin up the hem, and sew that on, and then I'll put the pleats in, and I'll time lapse that part so that this doesn't get terribly long. So I'm gonna have to move the camera here. Because I need the space. I'm not worried about this half because I'm not using the half. If I need to, I can use it, but I'm not going to use it right now. Let's see. What way do I want to do this? It doesn't matter which way I do it, so I'm just going to fold it up. And I'm going to close off this square here for that. So big it doesn't fit on my camera very well. Having all these pleat lines is actually kind of nice. Not pleat lines, the plaid lines. It's kind of nice because then I know where the material needs to be at to know if it's even or not. Unless the printers were very mean and when they made the plaid pattern here, they made it so it wasn't even, but then it might be more noticeable that way. So I don't think that's the case. one's a little more stuck in there. My little tomato. So yeah, once I get this pinned in, I'm going to take it over to the machine for a little bit and use that special thread I just bought that fits this color a little bit more, because we're in a section that we're following here that's more red, or whatever color this is. It's not quite red, it's kind of the off red. I couldn't find a really nice red there that wasn't too sheen or fleecy, because that would be way too hot to wear it. And so it's got a crease in there. I will have to remedy that before I iron it for the plates. There's this crease right in here. It doesn't go all the way. It doesn't go to the edge, so we can still sew this on. I'm gonna start on this end. That way I can still see what I'm trying to do here. So let's take this to the machine.